Hello, everyone. I might be a couple minutes early. Am I early? Yeah, I am a couple minutes early. I'll wait for everyone to pop on here. I see a couple people on. Hello. Let me know who's here and who's joining us today. Let me know how you guys are doing. Just trying to set up my camera here so you can actually see me. Happy August, everyone. Happy August. It's been an interesting energy again. So can't wait to talk to you. Hopefully, let me know you guys can see me and hear me. I'm still working out this live streaming thing. I tried one a couple days ago and it didn't work. I'm not sure why. So if you can give me a thumbs up or a happy face in the comments, that would be awesome. And I'm also going to check my phone to make sure I'm actually live. And you guys can see me. Oh, yep, there we go. I will turn that off so I don't get a whole bunch of reverb. Hey Nora, how you doing? I saw your post on the apartment building across, or condos across from you. So I'm glad everything worked out for you, and send some love to those that are in a different situation than you, unfortunately. So thanks for joining. I know that this is going to be an odd time to come live, guys, because there's a lot of people away this weekend. This is a long weekend. But I think that Spirit has some stuff that they definitely want to bring through. So I wanted to make sure I committed to coming on with you guys. It's a beautiful day out today. Looks like the clouds are actually breaking up a bit. Yesterday it was 34 here. It was a hot one. Good morning, Tanis. Hi, Samantha. You're driving back from Cochrane's, only listening today. All right. Well, thank you for coming. And for those that are joining later and that have time to watch later, thank you for joining. So this is the August energy update. This update is really about the energy of August. And I'm going to do something a little bit different, which I've started doing with my monthly mini readings, and I was guided to do it here as well. So in those monthly mini readings, I would pick 3 or 4 cards, depending on the card deck I was guided to choose. And then I noticed that I started adding in other cards. And so it was like Tasha Silver's Wild Offering cards. And then it was Cheryl Richardson's Self-Care cards. And then I was guided to do the Power of Surrender cards. And then recently I've been asked to add in Angels and Gemstones and also a Chakra Oracle deck as well. And the reason for that is they're guiding me is that it's kind of more of a holistic reading. It's enabling them to go through and bring forward guidance on chakras we need to work with, maybe crystals we can utilize to help us through the month. What is it that we need to work on? A lot of the work that I do for people is certainly mediumship, which I love doing for people and bringing through people from the other side and allowing healing and connection. The other piece is the intuitive piece, and so those mini readings or my long readings, which I don't use cards for, is really connecting into the guidance. And a lot of you that have had those readings know that more than, psychic guidance, this is going to happen in May next year, and certainly some of that happens through me. A lot of it is about the guidance that's coming through for you for your soul's journey. What is it that you need to work on? Sometimes you leave my sessions with homework. Sometimes you leave with books to read. Your divine team is always trying to communicate to you, and they utilize our session, our time together, to keep prodding you in the direction and keep guiding you. What do you need to work on? What do you need to look at? What do we still need to heal? What do we need to growth in? What do we need? And what I always say is a lot of what comes through is just remembering for you, remembering what your own divinity already knows. And so your team's in there kind of helping you out with that. So this is what we're going to do this month, is we're going to start working with a bit more cards, a few more card decks to kind of bring again a more holistic picture of August as we go through. Hi, Trudy. Good morning. Hi, Sean. So good to see you here. Is this Belinda or is this Sean? Looks like it's Belinda on Sean's account. All right, guys. So for those of you that are live with me, hang on as we go through the August energy read. You'll also get a chance to have me pull some cards for you and do a reading specifically for you, which I love doing, and I love connecting with you guys live. Let me know how you guys have been feeling through the month of July and as we go into this first week of August. It's been an interesting couple of days of energy. I don't want to say it's felt dark. It's felt dark's not the right word for it. Almost the calm before the storm. It was very calm. It's been very interesting. Yes, it's Belinda. Okay. Hi, Belinda. And yesterday I was feeling agitated the last couple of days, just more like a raw nerve. And it was interesting because I was very well aware that this is something that's going on in the collective. As they've talked before through me, as this new ascension energy is coming in, as we're starting to speed up, of course, that's what we've been doing is releasing. But there's a new energy that's come in the last little while that is a completely different vibration. And this is what we keep having to manage through. And if you're conscious through it, you realize that you are managing through it and utilizing it in order to assist you in what it is you need to work on, grow through, expand into, remember. But it was interesting the last couple of days. And I was wondering if part of it was some of the weird weather we were having here where I live. There was lots of tornado warnings and lots of energy in the sky. And it was interesting because when I was talking to a friend about that in my mid-July update, I think they were talking about watch the clouds and watch the sky. There's lots of stuff going on in the sky right now. A lot of stuff going on in the sky. And I don't think that's going to stop. So it'll be interesting to see what August brings forward. But certainly we've seen lots of shifts in the weather, and certainly that's been attached to the sky for sure. Yeah, Trudy, I agree. It really feels like we're currently between two places. And I know a couple of months ago they're showing me a card where we had talked about that. And that's definitely how it feels right now. The one guidance that they give me when I meditated last night and this morning is it's almost like this is all preparatory. That all this internal work that we're doing, all this maybe learning that we're doing, all this clearing that we're doing, it's all prepping us for what's to come. And I'll go a little bit more into that about being called into service for some of us who've come here to do that work. It's all about really stepping into your own light, but I think it's about shining your light up and making sure that you're coming forward with the best of intention, with the best frequency as we go into the new energy that's coming in as we progress into 2020. The other thing that's happening in August, of course, they're just talking about the Lionsgate energy. And what date is that? Is that the 3rd? Is that today? No. Is that the 8th? Anyways, I've got to look that up. For some reason, I've drawn a blank on it. But that's a really powerful energy portal. So if anyone can look that up for me quickly, that would be great. And let me know and let us all know what day that is. Lots going on. It kind of feels like we're being bombarded right now with energy, bombarded with change, bombarded with chaos in some ways. It almost feels like we can't get a grip, and that's not the easiest energy to be in. But the one thing that I keep finding, and I'll keep saying this till the cows come home, very old saying, I know, you can tell my country roots there, is listen, we need to keep grounding this energy. It's so important to be outside. And I know I was feeling really agitated and like I couldn't sit still. Yesterday, I wasn't sure what this energy was that was coming through my body. I was noticing my solar plexus were engaged. So that yellow chakra right at the center, I noticed my heart was a little bit engaged. So there's definitely energy that's surging through certain energy chakras. And the thing that helped me the most was going outside and puttering in my garden last night when it cooled down. We need to be outside. We need to get outside and ground. Make sure you're getting into nature. This is one of the most important things we need to do for ourselves, to care for ourselves and also to care for Mother Earth. This new energy that's coming in, we're also bringing through into our frequencies down into her as well, and she's supporting it. So grounding, I can't say enough about grounding. When I came in from that, I felt completely calm, completely centered again. We need to make sure we're getting outside. August 888, yeah, that makes sense. Thanks, Sheila. Good morning, Donna. So I want to get into the card reading because I know they have a lot to say through the cards today. They kept saying this is going to be a big one, so I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it's just going to be a long reading. Maybe the message that's going to come through is big. I don't know. But let me get into it. So I'm going to go through about how I pull the cards. And so I'll use one main deck for the kind of the first three cards, and then I'm going to go into what I've started doing in my mini readings, which is pulling different decks, and I'll explain to that as we go. I got guided to use the Energy Oracle card deck, and I love this deck. I haven't used it for the last little while, but for some reason today they're asking me to go back in. And so what I'm just asking for is clarity on what it is we most need to know for the month of August to navigate to our best lives. To navigate through to our best lives for everyone that's watching now or in the future. The other thing they want me to talk about is yesterday I had a really interesting experience. I have a rule, and I made this rule with Spirit many, many years ago. When I'm picking up on people that have crossed to the other side, or even if I'm getting psychic messages for people, my rule is I don't interrupt their life in the sense where I don't bring it forward to them unless I get a clear sign, unless they have come to me obviously for a reading, unless I know that they're open to it, unless I get and I'll give you an example. I have a wonderful, beautiful friend who's my hairdresser, and probably for about 3 years, her grandmother kept talking to me every time she was washing my hair. And when I'm in a relaxed state, that happens more and more. And, I'd be getting my hair washed, which we know is so fab. And she'd be talking to me and talking to me and talking to me. And my rule is always, I say to Spirit, you need to give me a sign, because I don't want to interrupt on people's belief systems. I don't want to interrupt on their journey. And I think in some ways, if I'm going to be completely honest, from an egoic standpoint, it was fear. Because this work isn't easy to do. It isn't easy for me to put myself out here. It isn't easy to be exposed. It isn't easy to be vulnerable. And so I guess maybe part of it, if I'm really honest with myself, it was like, oh gosh, I don't want to look silly. I don't want to look foolish. What if this doesn't make sense to them? Mostly my overarching intention with that is I don't want to interrupt a person's journey in their personal belief system if they have a personal religious dogma or whatever it is. So I always ask Spirit to go forward and to bring me a sign. Anyways, many years later, after going through this with this beautiful soul that's crossed, I just had a card pop out. So I'll keep talking as I'm shuffling the cards. All of a sudden, I can't remember the wording she said. She said, do you believe in psychics or mediums? And boom, I'm like, I'm in. I knew exactly then that was my sign from the universe. And all of a sudden I was like, do I ever? You better sit in this chair. I got things to tell you. Your grandmother's been talking to me. This person's here for you. And I kept going and going and going and going. And, I'm sure she was a little overwhelmed by it. I know because so much information comes through me in my readings, and I always recommend people to actually record them. It's very overwhelming because there's so much information, and I almost can't speak fast enough with the information that's coming through. Anyways, that being said, that's my rule, and I've kept that for the last 15, 20 years as I've done this work. And but yesterday it was interesting because I walked into a shop, never done this before, and I had this older gentleman talking to me, to the point where I can't focus. I can't even breathe sometimes because it's so overwhelming. And I was just like, and I just said to them all of a sudden, I had no idea where it was coming from. I know this sounds weird. I know that this, I'm not sure you believe in mediums. I don't even know if you know, but I'm getting this older gentleman. It's a father or grandfather figure. He says he wants to bring through a message that he's proud of you, what you've done here with the shop and this and that. And as I'm talking, I could tell this one person wasn't connecting and this one person was just fascinated. I mean, this person didn't even know what a medium was. So I think it was a little overwhelming. And the messages weren't connecting, and I just thought, well, I have to shut this down because I think maybe I'm overstepping here. So I could feel them processing, and what I call is psychic amnesia. And it even happens when people come to me for readings. So much information comes out, and it's like all the puzzle pieces come together. Sometimes people forget. It's like, oh, I know who that is, and they think about it half an hour later after the reading. They're like, oh, I sometimes even bring forward names, and they're like, no, I don't know that person. And then they send me an email, 2 days later, oh, I talked to my mom, and that's that's my uncle's name. Anyways, I call it psychic amnesia. So, because the mind has a hard time grasping what's happening in those experiences, right? The mind tries to logically make sense of it, which is its purpose. And so it almost goes blank for a minute. Which is a very interesting experience. So I could tell they were getting a bit of psychic amnesia, and I was only bringing through a couple of key things because, and when it wasn't connecting, and I could feel like it wasn't that they were upset about it, they were curious, but just didn't know what to do with it. And I said, well, I'm just going to leave it with you. I'm not sure who it's for. I'll leave it. Maybe it's someone here at the shop in the back. Anyways, when I left that, it was interesting because I thought, well, why did I do that? I don't do that. I don't do that. And I know through every experience, there's a lesson for everyone. There's a lesson for me. There's a lesson for others. And the one thing that they told me in meditation last night about it, because I really had to meditate on it because it was so out of my character and so out of my intention, is they said to me, well, you didn't die, did you? In the sense of everything was okay. You didn't feel foolish, which I didn't, because I've done this work for so long. I know spirit, when they speak, it's so pure and such pure intention, and the messages are so right. Maybe sometimes I don't interpret them correctly, but I know what they're saying is correct. I know that. And so maybe it wasn't connecting because I think they were overwhelmed by the experience. I think it will connect later on, is what they told me. But it was a great lesson for me in maybe breaking out of, and I don't think I'm going to change my intention with that, but there's something here going on with us about breaking out of old dogmas and old belief systems. And they're talking about in July, they talked about through me on that subject again. And they kept showing me they were pushing me forward. It's like, no, we're pushing you forward now. And I don't think I'm the only one they're going to push forward out of comfort zones. So if you're feeling that in the next month or two, they're just telling me, go with that, please. There are some people that are going to be called into action. There's reasons why certain people have come here to do certain things and to be in service. And that means sometimes going out of comfort zones. The interesting lesson for me and all that was I was not uncomfortable once. I knew, and I have that much faith, that what comes through is correct. And whether or not they received it in that moment or not was none of my business. I'm just in service. And that was a beautiful lesson for me. Whether or not I'm going to continue doing that, I don't know. We'll see. And I don't think so. But what they were teaching me in that moment, and I don't know what the lesson was for the people on the other side. Maybe they'll look up what mediumship is. It takes them on a whole different journey. That's, again, none of my business. But the lesson here for me was it's okay to be vulnerable, and it's okay to keep pushing yourself out of the boundary and stop playing small in the sense of, I think as a collective of people that are spiritual, sometimes we play small. And the other thing, I know they're going on here, but they want to bring up someone like Marianne Williamson, who's running for a presidency slot down in the United States. And this is someone, if you guys have followed her over the years, lives a truly spiritual life. And she is stepping up and standing in her power and speaking from a spiritual perspective on a political realm. that takes courage. And I think many of us have really we have our groups, we have our people, we have our tribe, let me say, of people of like mind that understand us. But there comes a time when we have to put ourselves out there and live our truth and live authentically and live why we've come here. Why are you here? If you've been given these gifts, if you know that this is something you're supposed to be sharing, why aren't you doing it? And I think many of us are being pushed right now. It's like, come on, it's time to get going. Good morning, Kristen. Good morning, Barb. Thanks for being here. There's something here going on with this, and they keep showing me we're going to push forward about living authentically in your light, how you come, because that's how you help everyone, right? When you're living in the shadows, when you're afraid to say who you truly are, when you're afraid to, because you think that people might think it's woo-woo, or people might think it's crazy, or people like, why? Why are we doing this? Why are we not having faith in humanity that they're ready to hear some of this information? Go check out Marianne Williamson and what she's doing. It's very impressive. That's courageous. And it's time for us to start living courageous lives. It's time for us to stand in our light. There's a reason why we've been guided to do this. There's a reason why we've done all this work. There's a reason why we have been working and learning and doing all this. And they just said to me, the time is now. So that's a powerful message that they really wanted to bring through, and exactly why I went through that experience yesterday. Because they just said to me, well, you're fine, aren't you? Nothing happened. You're okay. You're not embarrassed. Everything's good. Because we still have that small piece of us that wants to fit in, that wants to look normal, what is normal? What is normal? Live your truth is what they're saying for this month. Live your truth. Live your truth. Be authentic to who you are. You're not asking anyone else to believe anything that you believe. But don't play small. Don't play small. Hi, Evelyn. Good to see you here. Okay, I'm asking for 2 more cards. I know they had me go off on a bit of a tangent there. But I have to listen to what they wanted to say, and they said this is going to be a big one. Okay, so that's the start of it. Let's ask for 2 more cards. 2 more cards for the month of August, please. And feel free to ask me any questions, guys, as I'm pulling these cards, because it's going to take me a little bit, because I really want to pull the full spread that they've asked me to do. So the other one that they asked me to pull is the Keeper of the Lights card. So that's just asking for divine beings of light and love who wish to give additional messages for the month of August. So for those of you that just joined me, I was just saying that my mini readings, my monthly mini readings, my monthly video mini readings that I do for people have gotten a little bit more extensive. And so we're going to go through that this month. They've guided me to do it in the same format. So just asking for being divine being of light, keeper of light, to come forward for the month of August. Who's here to support us, provide us further guidance for the month of August, please. Okay. And then I'll ask the same for angels. So just asking which angels are here to assist us for the month of August. These are also angels or divine beings that you can continue to work with, you can continue to study with for the month of August. It's just that their energy is prevalent with the collective right now, and that they have messages of support and love and healing for us as we navigate through the month of August. Just asking for which angel is here to support us and provide further guidance, please. And I'll show you all these cards as we go through. Also, I'm going to call out Bear and Reed, the spirit animal card. So these are spirit animals that perhaps you've already started seeing in the month of August. You'll continue to see to support this message in the month of August. Again, also spirit totem animals. You can look at, I love Stephen Farmer's book on the spirit animal. I wish I had it here. Oh, I do. Spirit Guides by Stephen Farmer. I'm just going to show it to you. The bottle just falls over. The best book. Absolutely the best book. If you're seeing animals in your life, and I always say, and I teach this in my courses, spirit speaks through energy. And energy shows up in your life in a variety of forms, whether it's a butterfly from a loved one, if you believe that to be true, or a dragonfly, through the wind, through the sun, through the ocean, through animals, through people, through experiences. Spirit is always speaking to you. The divine is always speaking to you. And so these are also power animals that you can study or call on and utilize for the month of August to provide support for you. So just asking for spirit animal to come forward, please. A message of support. Okay. The other one that I want to pull is the Power of Surrender cards. Okay. By Judith Olaf, MD. I believe in surrender. I believe the power of surrender, and the divine has certainly taught me that surrendering to divinity, whether it's surrendering, letting go of something, or surrendering in the sense of surrendering yourself to something, there's power in it, because then we are really truly connected to the flow of the divine. And I really love these cards because they can give you a focus on maybe what is it that I still need to look at? What do I need to surrender into? Or maybe I need to surrender out of and let go of. So just asking for divine guidance on what it is collectively we need to surrender to the divine within us. Okay. The other one is Self-Care Cards by Cheryl Richardson. So this is going to give us guidance on, and feel free to ask a question, guys, because I know this is a long time to wait, but I really think this is important because they've got a lot to say this month. These are cards that give you a focus for self-care for the month of August as a collective, of what is it that we need to be focusing on regarding self-care. August feels a little quiet to me. That's the energy I'm getting. Feels almost like in some ways we need to rest. I think there's going to be lots of transitions for people, or transformations is the word they want me to use. But they'll be quiet in nature. Things are very personalized right now, if that makes sense. And I do feel a requirement for some rest. I don't know why they're saying that, but it feels quieter. So just asking for a self-care card. Okay. I also feel like they're talking about the opportunity to get focused for the month of August. Part of it is as we get quiet, have a little bit of downtime, which some of us do because of vacations. There's also an energy of, listen, we need to start getting focused. I think that's part of the message that they brought beforehand when I was going kind of free-flowing with what they were channeling through is, what are we here for? And allowing that to start coming forward for you. What's your next step? I don't feel there's action to be taken, though, in the month of August. I think it's more an inventory here. So this is Tasha Silver's card. So this is words of prayer, words of wisdom. sometimes there's prayers on these cards that you can utilize through the month of August. So just asking from direct words from divine that we can utilize for the month of August, please. And two more cards. I know this is long, guys. Hang in there with me. Feel free to talk to each other too. This is just the chakra deck. So this is just focusing on what energy center within us as a collective for the month of August we're working through, working on. What's the messages around that? Just had a card fly out. I might have to pick another card. I just got the message. We'll see what comes through. And this is just a crystal and gemstone deck. So just asking for guidance on which crystal we could utilize for the month of August to assist us here as we navigate through this new energy that's come in, especially as we navigate through the Lionsgate portal, which is huge. I won't get into it. There's lots of YouTube videos, lots of people that specialize in that. What they're saying is to me now, go and Google it, go on YouTube it to understand it a little bit better. Okay. That's interesting because that card came up for me a couple days ago and I pulled a card for myself. Okay, so these are the cards that we're going to start off with. I'm just going to sort them all out here. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, the first one is hostilities. I'm going to go through the first three first. Sixth chakra, this doesn't surprise me, so that's your third eye. And we got the action card. We also have a goals card. Again, there's something about what are we going to do, I think. Anyways, let me listen and see what this means for the first three cards. Okay, I'm going to bring these two cards up first because these two cards are connected. Archangel Michael is the angel that's with us all for the month of August. There's something here about standing in your power and knowing that you're protected. Again, this is going back to the original message about everyone having the courage to stand in their light, to be authentic in who they are, to not fear speaking out, being who you are, passing along the messages, if you have messages to pass along like I did. That you're protected in your divinity is what they're saying to me right now. And that if, I know there's an energy in the word here is hostilities, I feel more an energy of protection. That the divine is here to bring through a new wave of energy. And those of us that are flowing through that wave of energy that have actions to take, this to me, again, feels more like an action card. Those of us that are starting to realize we have actions to take, things to do to be in service, this is definitely a message about you're going to be protected through that. Call on your divine team. Make sure your intention is in alignment with divinity. If your intention is pure, if it comes from the purest place, they just said to me, what's there to fear? What's there to fear if your intention comes from the purest place and knowing that you're always divinely guided and protected? They just keep saying there's nothing to fear. This is an interesting message for the month of August. I'm interested to see what's coming forward through it. There's something here too about speaking truth, about being true to who you are for the month of August. And they also said to me there's also contemplation. So I think this is what this energy of contemplation and quiet is, about an assessment of who you are. And once you stand in that, know that you're protected, that you're cared for, that the divine is with you. Again, I keep feeling this energy about speaking truth, standing in your own power. They keep showing me Marianne Williamson. If you haven't looked up what she's doing, I'm not talking about her political views, so maybe I'm in alignment with them, or some of them it doesn't really matter because she's in the States. But it's her experience of standing in her truth that I think is fascinating, and I think that's what the divine wants us to focus on as we navigate through the month of August. I just keep seeing light bulbs going on for people. Light bulbs going on for people, and it's more about getting an action plan together. They want to talk about this is what's happening for a lot of people right now, is this kind of intuitiveness, this third eye area is opening up for many people. They just said to me, many people are starting to awaken and see things from a different perspective. And they just said to me, that's why we're called into action. That's why we're starting to be called into action, which is the next card. Because more people are awakening, more people are opening up to different ways of seeing things, where there's more people that all of a sudden start experiencing perhaps what you and I have been experiencing most of our lives. Because of this new energy that's coming in, there's a new awakening unfolding, and they just showed me like new waves of energy. Not only is the new waves of energy comes in, it's almost like new waves of souls that are awakening, and this third eye chakra, that pineal gland, is starting to be ignited. That's some of what's happening through this higher frequency that's coming in, because they just keep using the word for me, the time is now. The time is now. And it's calling some of us into action. And we need to remember that we're protected through that, because they just said, you've come with divine purpose. What are you here to do? And sometimes for some people, it's on a bigger stage. For me, it's being on YouTube. For other people, it's on a much smaller stage. Maybe it's just in your own family. But what is it that you've come to assist with? I've often said in our family line, there are some of us that have come in that family to assist in the transformation of the patterning within that family that has been seen for generations after generations, changing the patterning, healing the wounds of the ancestors. So, maybe that's part of your purpose of being here, but that also comes with standing in your light and being courageous and living your own truth, and also taking the action. It's interesting because what they're saying is there's still a stillness in August, and then there'll be a bolt of energy. I'm feeling mid-September where we'll really be called to be moving forward. But I feel a stillness. Again, I don't want to say it's dark energy right now that I'm feeling. It's a stillness and not a shadow energy. It's hard for me to find the word of how I'm feeling. There's a contemplation energy, a figuring out of what it is you're going to do with this new energy that's come through. And then I feel like we're moving forward now. We're definitely moving forward. The next card that we got, so this is the Keeper of the Light card. So this is the divine being that wanted to come forward for the month of August. This is Isis. So magic and manifesting. She said, your dreams, vision, and goals are becoming reality. Stay focused. Stay focused on what you want in August. This is another energy that's coming through for many of us in how to manifest. And it's happening very quickly for us. Hi, Justin. Good to see you here. It's happening very quickly for us. And this is why we have to be, we've been working on our energy and making sure that our energy is clear, making sure that our thoughts are clear on what we want, what our intention is. Because manifestation and learning about how to be that co-creator with the divine is happening very quickly. And some of you might have noticed that. Things that you've just thought about just all of a sudden happen. Things that you have wished for all of a sudden happen. I always tell my friends I'm very good at manifesting flowers. I'll look at a corner of my room like I need to get flowers from there. Probably within a few hours, someone buys me flowers or they come. There's something here about learning and what that looks like for us, and that you are empowered to manifest. heaven on earth for yourself here. But there's also responsibility lied within it. And if your intention comes from the purest place, then you're in alignment with bringing through the highest frequency of manifestation for all those involved. But there's something here, so work with Isis, look up Isis if you're interested, if you're drawn towards this energy. But she's certainly here for the month of August to help support. And I think, again, as we were talking about this kind of reflection energy that we're going through, this quietness that we're going through, and then as we're acting, and it's about getting a clear vision right now is what she's telling me. It's about, as we're doing this reflection piece, as we're doing the quiet piece, what are we clear on? Get clear on what you want to manifest. Get clarity, whether that's vision boards, whether that's just writing it out. There's an energy here in the month of August about what is your intention? What do you want to manifest? And remember how powerful you are in doing so. Focus on what you do want and not what you don't want, is what she's just telling me. And realize that you are a powerful co-creator. So as we're getting into this lull energy and then starting to take action as we head into September, get clear right now. This is a moment of clarity. What is it that you're getting clear on that you want to manifest? And we talked about Archangel Michael, who's being here to help all of us right now in that protective energy, in that call on him to assist you right now, especially if you're feeling unsure. Especially if you're going into a situation where you're going to really shine your light, where you're going to really feel vulnerable, call on him, ask him for assistance, feel that shield of energy coming in. And as all of this chaos is going on, and we know there's a lot of eruption, I still feel eruption under the ground, energy moving. Again, call on Archangel Michael to assist you and your family in really feeling protected and well and in a good place. Be clear on that. This is interesting because isn't this what we're talking about? So that the animal spirit card that came up for the month of August is dog spirit. It says be loyal to what you love. That's what they've been talking about from the beginning of this video, you guys. Be loyal to what you love. Why are you here? This is what we need to look at for the month of August. Why are you here? Stand in your light. What do you love doing? What's your gift back to humanity? What's your gift back to the family? Like I said, sometimes it's on a big stage, sometimes it's just personal and on a little stage. But what do you love doing? Your soul, when we have purpose, it aligns with joy. It aligns with that sense of love. It aligns with knowing that we're in connection with the divine. So as we're taking this month of reflection, think about those things that you love doing and stand in that. Stay loyal to that. Know that you're protected in that. Know that you're here to do something special for your life and those that are around you. You've been called into action. You have been called into action as the light workers that you are. And if you're here, that's what you are. I know that with every fiber of my being. So it's time for us to start figuring out what is that calling. And they just said to me, it doesn't have to be big. Please remember this. It doesn't have to be huge. Everyone thinks, they're just telling me, everyone thinks that you've got to be the next Oprah. You need to be the best Deepak. Why? They're just asking why. Does not every pebble matter? Does not every raindrop contribute to the ocean? Everything matters. Notice what you love and be loyal to it. Be loyal to your vision. Be loyal to why you've come here. This is interesting. So the surrender card that came forward for August was surrender to rest and sleep. Prevent burnout, slow down, honor your need for quiet time and rejuvenation for your mind, body, and spirit. So this supports what they've been saying, is it's time for reflection, it's time for quiet for the month of August. It's time for reflection, it's time for being okay exactly where you are. And as you're resting and taking care of yourself, as they talked about for the month of August, make sure, and that's the energy that's going to support you in getting clear on your vision as you go forward. They just said to me, if we're exhausted, if our adrenals are taxed, if we're not clear, if our energy is scattered, if we're not grounded, if we're not balanced energetically, how can our vision be clear? And then how can we have the energy to take action? So that's part of, this is supporting the original message that I was getting, is that August is, I feel a quiet energy about it. I feel a time of reflection, and just being with what's currently happening right now. Was the energy of self-care. This is interesting. Goals. Set a goal, write it down, and release the outcome. Again, that's just confirming all the other cards that have come before it. The best thing you can do for self-care right now is get clarity on what it is you want to bring forward for yourself. Not now, because now is a time of rest and reflection, but get clear on what those goals are. Get clear on why you've come. Get clear on what you're here to contribute. And they just, again, small steps make a big difference. That's why they were talking about even, one raindrop, contributes to the ocean. Those little things matter as well. Oops, I just dropped a card. Okay, this is interesting. The card that I got for the chakra card, this is a neutral card now. It doesn't have any focus, which to me means we're working on all chakras at once. Is when I read this card, that's what it's meaning for me, is impartiality. It's being impartial to the outcome is what I'm just hearing. That's what that message is. Which again supports the card that we just had before, setting a goal and letting it go, being impartial to the outcome, being impartial to how it all flows out in the end. It's like we're co-creators and we're manifestors and we're setting goals and we're getting clear on vision, but then we have to be impartial and just let it go and allow the divinity to work through us to support it. Does that make sense? So we're working on all chakras this month. Be prepared for that. Specifically the 6th chakra that came forward through Archangel Metatron. The other thing that they want to talk about is, certainly call on Archangel Metatron. Metatron is one of the archangels that I certainly work with. And that was really brought clear to me last fall. He's always been with me in my divine team. But now I understand him by name a little bit. I know his energy, but now I really understand who he is. Anyways, he's definitely here. Archangel Metatron is definitely present for the collective right now in assisting in this ascension, in this awakening time. So, absolutely call on him for support. The other thing that came up, which is interesting, was the crystal support us right now is Apache Tears. And it says, I allow myself to feel my feelings and express them through my physical and mental action. Tears flow easily, and I'm releasing pent-up emotions. I'm able to let go. I'm comforted. I am at peace. So as we're in a place of contemplation this month, as we're in a place of reflection, as we're in a place of bringing through our goals and our focus, they also, this energy, thank you, is what they're telling me is we have to make sure that we're in alignment with our emotions and to honor the emotions that are coming through, both for release, if there's still things because of this high frequency that's coming in, that's not in alignment with this frequency, that needs to come up and out of us and to be released, to be seen and to be witnessed. This is a crystal that can certainly support it, but it's also a crystal that's supporting the utilization of emotion to manifest and to create our vision and our goals. And again, in support of this, right, when we talked about dog spirit and be loyal to what you love, emotion is a powerful tool for manifestation. Emotion is an energy. Emotion is required to both release and also to harness the energy of manifestation. So if you feel called, go out and get yourself an Apache chair and just sit with that energy and allow it to assist you in what they're calling managing emotions, in the sense of engaging with them and utilizing them for both release and activation. The last card that we have, again, is the Tasha Silver card, and that's the message that came through was contentment, and I always like to read these cards out. You can learn to rest in what you already have and already are. Suddenly remember, I'm resting here in God. So that's the message from the divine. I just ask for words of the divine, a prayer for the collective or anyone that's listening. So you can learn to rest in what you already have and already are. Suddenly you remember, I'm right here resting in God. Okay, guys, so that's the message for August. Hopefully that makes sense. I know there was a lot of information that came through. As always, I always recommend that you guys go back and watch this video, maybe mid-month, and see what else is coming up. Because some of it for sure makes sense now. Some of it will start to make sense as you're continuing to navigate through this energy of August. So this is just the beginning of August. I'm curious to see what comes forward for the rest of the month. Okay, guys, let's get into free readings. What time is it? I've got time for a couple of readings here. I do have clients coming this afternoon, but as always, I like to gift free readings. I love being live with you guys. You're very welcome, Gabrielle. You're very welcome. Yeah, a lot of guidance. I know that's a lot to come through, so make sure you guys go back and listen to it. I'm going to pick a number, and anyone after Kristen's message there. So I pick a number between 1 and 10, and the first person that I see get this number is the one I'm going to be doing a reading for. And just so the timing's right, anyone after Kristen's last message, which was thank you, all great messages to start off the month with, any number after that will be who I'm going to utilize. So put a number up there. Number between 1 and 10. And I'll give you guys a couple minutes to do that. I don't see the number yet, so feel free to put another number up. Okay. I see the number. And Gabrielle, you got it. It's number 2. So that's the first reading. So I'm going to write your name down. Congrats, Gabby. Okay, I'm going to pick some cards for you. No. I'm getting Sacred Spirit card. I'm going to pick 2 cards from here, and then I'm also going to pick a Power of Surrender card is what I'm being guided to do here for you. And let me know, you guys, while I'm doing this, if you have any questions on that August reading too, because I can certainly tune in if you guys need more clarity on anything. So just 2 cards for Gabby and what it is she most needs to know to navigate through the month of August, please, to bring forward her best life. Okay. And Power of Surrender card is what I got. I'm also going to do a spirit animal one for you. Thanks, Sheila. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine. And while I'm shuffling, guys, if I can remind you all to please like this video. Please comment after this video ends live, because I guess the more comments you get and the more thumbs up you get, the more YouTube puts it out there for everyone. So, and please share this video if you can after we're done, because I guess that helps too. Whatever this, well, however it is, they've got some algorithm, but the more likes and comments that we have, that helps support the video. So thanks so much for all your support. And can I just say, there's a card that just popped out. I just want to thank you guys for all the support and all the love, either between my Facebook page or my clients coming to see me and just coming and hopping on here and supporting me in this. You know, I don't really know why I'm being guided to do it. I hope you guys find it helpful. I just really appreciate all your support and all your love and all your grace and you coming every month and listening. Okay, so your first card is Celestial Gatekeeper, Gabby. And it says timing is critical. This is interesting. What does it say? Channel your knowledge. And your Power of Surrender card is Surrender Defensiveness. That's interesting. So I'll tune into that for you. But they just reminded me again, I need to pull an animal card for you. All right. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I'm happy to do it for you guys. Okay. I'm just asking for a power animal, please, to come forward for Gabby for the month of August. Oh, I thought one was going to pop out, but it didn't. Okay. So let me just tune into what this is talking about here. I'm going to have to do this. I'm just talking with this card, Gabby, that there's been an opening that's happened with you. I know they're calling it a celestial gatekeeper, but I almost feel like a celestial gateway has been opened for you. They're talking about transformation for you for the month of August. And they just corrected me. They said continued transformation for you for the month of August, because this has been ongoing specifically since September. I don't know whether it's last September or September the year before. This is interesting. I almost feel like 2 falls have been significant for you. I feel like last fall and then the fall before. So there's something about where we've had significant transformation 2 falls ago, last fall, and they're talking about this fall again. There's something that happens for you in the fall, September energy, which is interesting. September is just, it's a critical time for you, often is what they're telling me. So that's interesting. But there's a gateway that's been opening up for you. They want to talk about the third eye in particular, which of course is in alignment with that August energy, but there's definitely third eye activation for you. And they're just saying you're starting, again, in alignment with the August reading, about understanding your energy, understanding your purpose. And you're going to be sharing what's coming through for you as you're continuing to get it. Because all of this work that you've been doing for yourself and all this learning that you've been doing is activating new places within yourself. And I feel like you're bringing forward that knowledge at some point. But they just said to me they want to remind you to give it time and to give it space. It's almost like they want it to come in and just percolate with you and see what's still sitting within you that needs to be released. And then the guidance is, then you can begin to share. So there's definitely an energy of sharing. It's like they show me you keep putting your toes in the water and sharing your divine knowledge and your wisdom. And that's wise, is what they just said. It's like we have to test the waters, build our muscle, our own intuitive muscle, and then we start working into a bigger experience, a bigger platform. For some reason, they're talking about this new venture that you're wanting to go into. People will understand it. I don't know if you've got a fear of people not understanding your intention with it, but they just want to remind you that the right people will understand your intention with what you're trying to co-create here with the universe. So again, very similar message to the collective message for you, but having faith in humanity, having faith in the awakening of others, that they'll be in alignment and that they'll understand. You have a deep fear of understanding, being misunderstood. Okay, so they're just telling you, make sure, they just want to confirm for you, you need to know that people will understand it. The reaction of trying to be misunderstood, and that fear almost is a block for you. And of course, then you're manifesting it for yourself. Does that make sense? So there's always a fine line in manifesting. Because if we're afraid of something, that also comes back to us to be witnessed continually, or we act in ways that support people's reaction in that way. So you need to, as you're learning to stand in your own power and be authentically in who you are, there's still activations going on with you and clearings, knowing that this vision that you hold for your future, people will understand it. They will get it. They'll understand your intention. But they just said again, like everyone else in August, this is about you really getting clear on what that intention is, of balancing the material and the spiritual, because we're always constantly living in duality. They're showing me the yin and yang symbol, which is also my symbol for duality here on earth, that there is balance between both. And so it's about learning for yourself and how to merge both the material world and the spiritual world. Of course, the spiritual world is in all of that, but sometimes there's a duality here of that, right? It's broken apart sometimes in some ways. The ultimate truth is it isn't. It all comes from the same source. But here it's very dualistic. And so we have to respect that, understand it, and learn how to work through it and manifest within it, if that makes sense. Which makes sense why you've got surrender defensiveness, because if you're feeling worried that people are going to judge you, you would automatically feel defensive, or you would have blocks up, yes? So this is what they were talking about, you having blocks up in. So they're just saying we need to let our walls down and know that people will be receptive when, again, you come from the purest intention. And you've got to get clear then on what your vision is and what your goal is and what your intention is. So this is all about getting clarity right now, love. This is all about clarity for business and your purpose going forward. And just remember that the defensiveness we've got to surrender away. Because as we build blocks, as we build defensiveness, as we're expecting negative reactions towards the work that we're doing, it just doesn't serve humanity, number one. It doesn't serve your intention, and it also keeps drawing that to you. So they really want you to work on that wall, that defensiveness that you have. There's something here too about if there is defensiveness, because there's something about you've been met with that in the past, and I feel more that this is how childhood experiences for you, where you've been met with resistance on what you believe or who you are or how you come, and people not understanding it. About working with that energy and letting some of those fears and doubts go. And also, thank you, that's what they originally were bringing through. There's something here about forgiveness here. And when you see someone who's coming to you at fear, someone who doesn't understand you, there's no judgment from us. Because judgment is also a form of defensiveness, is what they're saying. It's another form of defensiveness. So they're really wanting to remind you, but we come with compassion and love, and understanding that everyone is exactly where they need to be in their belief systems, in their energy, and it's all okay. We just don't need to own it. We don't need to defend who we are. We don't need to defend how we come, and we love them for exactly as they are. There's no requirement for defensiveness. Does that make sense? So when there are opportunities, when people come to us with that reflection back to us, if that's our belief system, it's allowing us another opportunity to work through the act of forgiveness and the act of compassion and the act of love. That's all it's doing. So utilize those moments, an act of self-love and compassion, number one, and also compassion for those people that are perhaps not in alignment, and just loving them for exactly who they are and where they are at the moment. The one thing that they want to remind everyone here is we don't all need to be in alignment to love each other. We don't all need to have the same political views to love each other. We don't need to have compassion for each other. And they just said this is one of the issues that's going on in the world right now that we need to start rectifying. We all don't have to believe what everyone else believes to come from a place of compassion and love. We don't have to judge each other. Just see the wounded person. Just be there and love them through it. Okay? And love, we don't judge them. We don't have compassionate judgment. We have compassion and love for exactly where they are. And it's okay for them to be where they are. If they weren't where they are, how do you know you wouldn't be where you are? There's a reason for everyone having a belief system, coming as they are, bringing forward that energy, helping teach us, helping to be teachers for us and guides for us, reflecting back to us our own purpose. There's more here going on. More compassion and love is required in this world, is what they're just talking about, for yourself and for others. All right, Livy, hopefully that makes sense for you. That resonates with you. Good. Donna says she's sitting outside of my in-laws in BC. Thank you so much for the beautiful messages. You're enjoying nature. There's even an owl. Oh, I love that. You're welcome. Okay, guys, I'm going to do one more. So from right now, after Gabby's message, beautiful, thank you, I'm going to write one more number down. And again, it's whoever picks a number between 1 and 10. And whoever gets the number that I just wrote down first is the one I'm going to do a free reading for. And if you're interested in free readings, if you're new here, please follow, because I do, hopefully in the month of August, I have a bit more time. I will be able to just hop on and do live readings more. That's always my intention, but I've been very busy with a lot of other things going on. I'm actually taking 2 other courses, which I'm excited to talk about at some point, because I'm going to be sharing with them those services with you guys as well going forward. And I'm going to be integrating all my services together for people. So anyways, these courses I've been taking have been fascinating. All right, guys, the number between 1 and 7. 1 and 10. I just totally let the number go. But I see the task put it up here anyway. So the number was 7. Oh my goodness. All right. So Tanis, this is your free reading. Make sure you guys follow me, because you'll see my live pop-ups. I'm going to, like I said, try to come live more and just do random live readings for you guys. All right. Energy reading for Tanis. I'm getting Sacred Rebel to start with. And then I think Energy Oracle card for you. All right, guys. Let's see what's going on for Tanis. So just asking for divine guidance for the month of August for Tanis. What does she most need to know to help guide her to her best life, please? So I'm getting 2 cards from this deck. Okay, and then I might have to do Keepers of the Light for you too. We'll see. So one more card here for Tanis from the Energy Oracle card deck. Just asking for divine guidance for Tanis for the month of August, please. You're going to leave it. Okay, first card is relax the hold of darkness and be a cause. That's what it says, but we'll see intuitively because I read the cards intuitively what that really means for you. What do you feel? Is the next card. And then strategy is the last card. I just keep seeing money around you. That's interesting. Money, money, money. They're just saying to me this is a time of purification for you on many levels, emotional, physical, spiritual. There's something here, again, about the light, the energy that's coming in right now, coming down and really purifying your energy. Again, you're going to start seeing things differently, having different experiences of alignment with the divine. But this month is all a month of purification for you. Totally a month of purification on many, many levels. And upgrade is what they just said. So this is definitely a month for you of upgrade as well. They are reminding you to actually utilize the energy that's coming through rather than being, there are times that you're fearful of it. That's interesting. There are times because you're feeling the shadow side of it sometimes. And you feel the shadow in the collective that's coming up because of the new light that's coming in, that you get sometimes a little fearful of it and you don't know how to manage it, is what they're saying. And they say you manage it by connecting to the light, and you manage it by allowing the shadow to be what it is and to surface when required, either within yourself or within others. They're actually talking about making sure that you're bringing the light down through you and actually surrounding you as almost an energy of protection as well when you're feeling that. And they're actually showing me like a tornado of light coming around you to both empower you and protect you, is what they're saying. But definitely this is an energy of encoding a new frequency into your field and purification this month for you. There's something here too about you not physically feeling well through this transition as well. Like I feel nausea or something going on with your stomach sometimes. Again, that could be the solar plexus that have been activated through this month of August for many of us. But there's some kind of energy like that where we're just not feeling right. But again, they want to remind you that this is just energy that's just moving through your physical body. So focus on that yellow and that yellow chakra. They just said to me it would be great for you to get a citrine crystal. If you have one of those, and just putting those on your solar plexus to support it. There's lots of energy here moving through both the solar plexus and the heart centers right now in this new frequency that's come in. So there's a lot of focus here energetically for people. So people might, and you're no exception. So this is what's happening for many of us. So lots of gut health support for you this month as well. Connect into what you feel on a bigger scale is what they just said to me. And there's also choices coming, and choices, you're weighing choices. This card means often to me we're weighing choices and making sure we're looking at it from a bigger perspective. Again, I think this has to do with manifestation. They just said to me sometimes we can get into lack and mind mentality. So we need to look at things from a bigger perspective as well. there's something here about you being encoded with a new frequency. And I think this has to do with manifestation. And strategy all around creation and manifestation for you with this new frequency that's come in. They keep focusing on the money, the coins for you. I just heard windfall. That's interesting. I just heard windfall. Windfall. Something to do with money coming in. But there would be a choice here. What they're saying to me with this card too is we need to connect into our feelings about things more. How do you feel about certain situations? How do you feel when you're looking at it from a grander perspective? For some reason, they're talking about not the need, but the feeling. We need to understand the power of the feeling. Again, I think this is about manifestation for you. It's all about manifestation, I think, in the month of August. What is it? We can't focus on what we need. We need to focus on the bigger picture of the feeling when it's already come in. They're also reminding you manifestation is not drawing energy to you. It's allowing the energy through you to be created due to your frequency of energy. Does that make sense? Perhaps a different mindset than what we've been taught. But manifestation is not drawing energy to you because of your energy. It's allowing the creative force of the divine to connect with your frequency and manifest it out into the field. So we need to understand how we're feeling in the bigger picture. So if that's projecting your energy out into the final goal, projecting your energy out into the final feeling of the manifestation of what you're trying to create, making sure that we're feeling that energy and not focusing on the need end of it, because you ultimately don't need anything. It's already in existence for you. Does that make sense? All right. They also said keep working on clarifying your home and your energy. This is a lot to do with your energy here. This is a lot to do with you learning how to clarify in both your home, because this is part of the strategy card. Clearing the energy of your home and also purifying your own energy and upgrading your energy frequency. It's interesting though that she's touching the ground. And I see, the tree underneath her. We need to make sure that we're grounding that new frequency into reality is what they just said to me. So making sure that we're grounding it into reality. Okay, sister. Yes, Tass is my sister. All right. Those are the messages for you this month. I've got to hop off, guys, because I've got clients coming today. Thank you for letting me be in service to you today. I am excited to see what August comes. Rest, relax, rejuvenate, start listening, setting those goals, getting a clear vision. What do you love to do? What are you here to do? Follow your joy and your bliss. And remember, not everything has to be big. We've all come here for different levels of service. All right, my love. Barb, have a beautiful, beautiful time. All of you that are going, have a beautiful time. Know I send you all my love. I will be on, promise you, at some point during August, hopefully to do more live readings. And who knows, I usually get guided to do a mid-month update like I've done in June and July. So follow me on here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all your support and your love and your kindness. I just feel great gratitude for you all. All right, guys, have a beautiful, beautiful August. Go and enjoy the summer months. They're few and far between. It's time for us just to get out and have some fun. All right. Much love to you. See you later, gang. Bye.